What's up, guys? It's Encore here, and it's pretty late over here. I'm kind of gonna take this in one shot. Hopefully everything times out correctly. If not, I'm sorry about the long pause at the end or whatever. But the gameplay isn't that great, but what I really want to talk about in this is just my new controller. And I know that sounds really weird talking about your controller, but this thing deserves it. This thing is amazing. What it is it's a controller made by SCUF Gaming, and they sent it to me because I have a few things wrong with my right hand, which is a little bit personal, but I'll kind of disclose a bit about it. But first, if you look at your screen in just a second here, you're going to see some pictures. It's of all this equipment, all this gaming stuff I've purchased. Most of that is not even open. I think the only thing opened in that picture is the controllers. That's an extra headset of mine and some other items, my iPhone, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm trying to show you in these pictures is that I spend a lot of time and quite a bit of money, on electronics, on this, that, or the other. I used to do a lot of reviews about these things. And I'm telling you right now, this controller is by far the greatest quality and just the greatest design. It's unlike anything else. It tops everything. I've had a lot of Razer Onzas go out on me. They're terrible. They're great feeling, but they're terribly made. They're cheap. This controller, I've been playing with it pretty much non-stop today because it's been so much fun. And I'm telling you right now, this controller is only limited by my reactions. But let me go into some of the details of my injury, and then I'll tell you what this controller really can do for me and probably can do for you guys as well. One thing that happened to me is I used to get in a lot of fights. I went to military school. I went through a lot when I was a kid, and I got sentenced to a few things. And at one of the things, a guy pulled a knife on me in a fight, and he basically filleted my arm. Now, my arm is pretty damaged from it. This happened on my right hand, or my right forearm, which is affecting my right hand. I used to play claw all the time. When I used to do competitive circuits, it was always claw, always getting those extra buttons. And if you don't know what claw is, it's basically where you use your pointer finger to press your A, X, Y, and all those buttons, and then your middle finger on the triggers. Well, I can't play that anymore. My muscles lock up and pop out my elbow. So I did a lot of research, as I said, and I got all these other controllers, and none of them worked. From Evil to Razer, none of them worked well. Then SCUF and me, started talking, and SCUF Gaming sent me over a controller, said, we stand behind our product, here it is, what do you think? And I'm blown away. This controller is the greatest. The engineering on it is just amazing. And what they do is, instead of making me play in this claw style, which I can't anymore, they added where there's grooves underneath your controller. They, right where your fingers sit. I mean, literally they put it in the most, I can't even explain it. They're so perfectly placed that it takes so little effort to press them. And they're these paddles, or these big buttons. And when you press them, you can have them programmed to different things. But I have mine to my left side being to jump, and my right side to knife. Now, I can tell you right now, the jumping is amazing. The reaction on these buttons isn't really slow or delayed. The only reaction is, I've got to get used to the buttons actually being there. But once I do that, this controller is going to take my game from like a 5 out of 10 to a 8 or 9 out of 10. I'm not amazing of a player, but it'll definitely get me up there. The controller is amazing. Another thing it has is these triggers, which basically, instead of pulling the full trigger, it stops the trigger from going all the way out at a certain point. So if you just tap it, you'll fire or you'll scope in. And it might be a little confusing. You can check out their site. I'm going to post links, obviously. And I'm also going to do a more in-depth review. I'm going to compare more, multiple controllers and actual video. But the controller has helped me out tremendously. They're great guys. They've got great tech support. They've got even military grip on the controller so they don't slide out, because I can't hold on to it always perfectly. And, they're just great guys. Very few companies I would speak this highly of. They're one of them. Most controller companies I don't even like. I don't want to deal with them. SCUF. I'm going back there. I'm going to get some more controllers from them. I'm going to do multiple reviews for them. I'm going to be, you know, promoting them for a while. So what I recommend you do is, if you guys have any questions, concerns, or anything about getting one of their controllers, send me a message. I'm glad to answer them. I love talking about this controller. It's really just amazing. I know this is like a complete nerd video, me ranting on about how amazing, you know, this controller is, but it really is. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, or whatever, send me a message. And if you don't have any and you're impressed, or you need a new controller, or if you want to, you know, play like a pro, go ahead, go to their site, tell your parents, tell, you know, Santa, whatever you want to tell, that you want this for Christmas. But alright guys, I'm out. It's really late. I'm going to go play a few more games with my GB Dubs partner, and I'm sure I'm going to get some good gameplays out next week for you guys, and hopefully you guys will go check out all their controllers and all their goodies. You don't want to miss out. Peace.